PMFRC. I am the programs manager and I am here for yet another fireside chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, our topic is community engagement. If this is the first fireside chat that you are joining us for, welcome. We are glad to have you along. We started these fireside chats up when social distancing started, and unfortunately we had to close our doors, and we realized how much we missed you all. And since we didn't have a chance to see your faces, we thought we'd at least see if we could come into your homes and talk a little bit about the programs and services that are still available to you and let you know how that you could reach us if you need us. We've talked to a number of different teams, and today we're talking to the community engagement team. You will notice that there is a comment section either above or below or somewhere on your screen, according to where you're watching. If you have questions for the team, this is a live broadcast. If you do have questions for the team as it goes on, please feel free to ask those, and we will go ahead and we will pass those on at the end of the broadcast. So welcome, all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to do a quick little round table and introduce you to our guests. Darby Briggs is the Community Engagement Coordinator at the PMFRC. Lindy Barrie is a programmer. Natasha Gammon is also a programmer. Holly Clarke. And Claudia Beswick is the Executive Director of the PMFRC. She joins us every week. And we also have a special guest today from PSP Health Promotion's Kevin Strachan. We are very, very fortunate throughout the course of these fireside chats to have had a number of our community partners join us. While it was great to be able to talk to you about the services that we are provided, we also wanted to make sure that we were telling you about things that were available in other places. Our goal is to make sure that you know what's there, you know what supports are open to you. So thank you so much, Kevin, for joining us, and we'll get to you a little bit later to talk about your programs. Claudia, we start every broadcast out where I say, "What's new, Claudia?" And you say, "We're not sure." But today you have news for us. So I'm going to pass it over to you and let you you start with the news about what's happening at the PMFRC.
Okay, so I'll start by saying our locations are still closed. We're closed to the public, and we're still doing our virtual programming. Staff are working from home and doing what they can to do things virtually. In response to the announcement yesterday about the daycares, what I can offer is the following. We're committed to following what the province's direction is on the reopening of the daycares, and I'm going to speak just specifically to the PMFRC daycares. Staff and client safety has always been a priority of the board. It is one of our strategic priorities. It's very important. So we need to take the time to ensure that we are in line with the strict and stringent protocols that the ministry has established in order for us to reopen to the families. We will prioritize the opening of our licensed private home daycare, Little Troopers North and Little Troopers South, really because the before and after school programs and Kitty College were closed at the end of June. They will remain closed until schools reopen. But because we have the strict guidelines, it's going to take us time to get everything in place in the licensed care, so it's not going to be open right away. We're diligently working on a plan to make sure that all the safety protocols are in place, the sanitization, and what the impact is for the limited number of kids and educators that can be in a room. So rest assured, daycare staff will be reaching out to those families that are currently enrolled in the program to determine what their priorities are. And with that information, that assists us in preparing a plan for the ministry. The ministry will require us to submit a plan for approval. Health agencies also have to review everything. So all of this needs to be done, and we have to seek their permission before we can actually open the doors. So although I don't have a date, I won't be able to provide a date today. We'll make an announcement and let those families that are currently registered in the program know when we have a more defined time of when we can be open, when that would be. So we know that families are a little bit anxious about the reopening, and we're working really, really hard to make sure that it happens as soon as possible.
We're making progress. We're getting there. It's small steps.
Baby steps for sure.
Lots of work goes into making sure that those safety protocols are in place, and we are very much looking forward to all of our favorite little clients coming back and gracing us with their smiles and their laughs again. Let's go back to community engagement. Claudia, there's a lot of departments at the PMFRC that have had to do things in a different way, and the community engagement team is really one of them. Do you want to talk about a little bit about sort of how we had to do a little bit of a pivot to deal with people in this new world?
Well, the team is very innovative and very creative in how they plan their things. And I think we're talking a little bit later about feedback and what that looks like. So I think it took us a little bit of time to get Zoom organized. We do have the WebEx platform, but we essentially want to meet families where they're at and what best suits them. So really I can't say enough about how great this team has been doing in trying to bring activities directly to the families, because I know it's a bit of a challenge and a struggle when you're at home and hard to get out and schooling and all that other stuff. So kudos to this team. They're pretty awesome and very creative. And I love all of the YouTube videos that are popping up, and it's been great. So you guys rock, and I hope the families are enjoying it. And I'm sure that they're going to share a lot more of what's coming up in the future, because unfortunately, I think our virtual aspect is going to continue for quite some time. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think we are always looking at different ways that we can engage with the families. And this seems to have really hit its mark so far.
Darby, we keep using the term community engagement, and for some people that may not mean anything. Can you just maybe explain what community engagement is and what's involved in that? Just give some people some parameters about sort of where we're coming from.
Sure, Julie. Well, we provide opportunities for military members and their families, and also the wider community, to come out and to learn, to have some fun, to build connections and friendships in their community, whether they've been at this posting for years or if they're new to Petawawa. We try to have something for everybody. Our community engagement team runs adult and child leisure and educational programs, but we also have special needs inclusion programs, a prenatal program, second language training, big special events like our Christmas party and our Halloween party, and crafty community development activities, just to name a few. Our team definitely likes to keep busy.
I know that when we talk about the faces of the PMFRC, the programmers are definitely one of the faces that people think about. People know you, they come to your sessions, and you really have a chance to build relationships with folks. For those of you who don't know the team, I'm just going to do a little bit of a roundtable, and they're going to talk about what programs specifically they are involved in planning and putting together, because each person has a bit of a portfolio. I'm going to start with Lindy. Lindy, do you want to talk about what kinds of programs you do? We don't hear you.
Can you hear me or no? Oh, there we go. So I develop and facilitate adult programming, both personal development, a lot of the leisure, crafty type things. Just try to provide a forum for families to come out and interact and expand their social circle or something new. Yeah.
So adult personal development, we're having a bit of a sound glitch with Lindy. So adult personal development, personal development opportunity to learn and try something new. So I'm just going to see if I can translate the Lindyisms, because I can maybe hear you a little bit better. That's fine. So if we're all looking at you quizzically, that's what it is. It's not you.
Oh.
Holly, do you want to talk about your programs?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm sure some of you have already seen and hopefully been able to take part in our 0 to 6 and 7 to 12-year-old activities that we've been sharing through our PMFRC Facebook page. These activities are a lot of fun. They provide an opportunity for parents to engage with their children, and also some have an educational twist that will help to make the learning strategies a little bit more fun. We do our best to choose activities that you can do straight at home with items that you already have on hand to hopefully avoid making a trip to the store. Another great program that's still running is our prenatal nutrition program, which is in partnership with Community Resource Center Killaloo, Early Ons, and United Way. Although I'm not able to meet with you in person, unfortunately, I have moved the program virtually. So something I did want to talk about is that this program is offered for everyone. The only real requirement is that you're expecting at the time of intake. A huge misconception that I often hear is that people think you have to be living in Petawawa or be military affiliated. That is not the case. The prenatal program welcomes anyone and at any stage of your pregnancy. And we do encourage you to bring along your support person so they can take part in the activities as well. So as I mentioned, there is an intake that has to be completed prior to joining the program, which you can do so by sending me a quick email at the email that's going to be shared. And then we can get the ball rolling and get you entered into the program. And last but not least is our Baby Buddies program. So I'll be sharing development boosting activities that can be, again, easily completed at home, and will provide extended learning and fun for both parents and infants.
Holly, you're talking about the fact that anybody can join. It doesn't matter if you're in Petawawa. One of the things that we've been saying, I think, every week on these fireside chats is if you're not sure, please just call and ask us. Yes. You're not bothering us. We're not going to tell you you're in the wrong place. If we can't help you, we will help you find somebody who can help you, and we will pass you along. And I think if that's any takeaway message, and I'm sure all these ladies will back me up, and Kevin as well, if we would rather have you call and ask the question than sit at home and not get the support that you need. So if you are expecting a child, it doesn't matter if you're from a military family, it doesn't matter if you live in the Petawawa area, we would love to at least have you give Holly a call and talk about the program and see if there's something for you there. Absolutely. Natasha, do you want to talk about your programs?
Sure. So I cover the Francophone and language support aspect. So I have a few different options as far as language support and language learning. We have our Rosetta Stone licenses to learn English or French, and those are available to spouses and dependents of a CAF member for ages 14 and up. And then, but there's also currently right now free Rosetta Stone for students. That is available to anybody, military affiliated or not. And you can register for that up until June 30th, and then that'll carry your children through to hopefully the beginning of the next school year. And then we also have something called the LRDG portal for the love of French or English. So again, French or English learning. This one again is for military families. Normally it is an online portal to support in-class learning. However, during this time, they as well are offering use of the portal just for online. So you don't have to already be signed up for a class. So both the Rosetta Stone to sign up for a license and the For the Love of French or English, if you shoot me an email, I can get you connected with either of those. We also have a variety of online chats in English and French. So if you're just looking to practice, there's employment chats, deployment chats, a Francophone chat. So don't be shy to sign up for an online virtual chat and practice your language, or just come in to talk with, to connect with people. We also are sharing social media weekly tips and tricks for learning a language. So if you haven't seen those, you should be able to kind of see the few that have gone up in the last month or so, and they'll be continuing through the summer. And a couple more resources that I'll share is there's a website for the resources of the Language Portal of Canada. So on here you can find advice on grammar, spelling, punctuation, translation. You can find practice quizzes in both languages. So a handy resource there as well. And then for military members, as we often get questions from military members about signing up for Rosetta Stone, they have access to their own learning resources. One is called Allies Web. It's an online learning that they have to register for via the DWAN, and they have to have, they have to have their chain of commands good to go, as it is a full-time online learning. So you can get through a progress level in about 30 days. So that's another option that they have as well. So all those links will be shared.
So check the comments. They're all going to be down there. I know a lot of people are really taking this time at home to learn a language or brush up on a language. So if that's something that's crossed your mind, we do have the programs for that. So check out those links in the section. Before we go on, we've had some people freezing in that. If you are not in Petawawa, or if you are not watching this live, we have some weather going on outside. So it's, every once in a while, the sky opens up and there's a storm kind of hovering over us. So if we have some glitches and a little bit, some internet issues, I think that might be part of the reasons that we are having some difficulties today. Darby, one of the programs that people do associate with the community engagement team that we haven't talked about yet, we were going to give it its own little question, is the Children's Deployment Support Program. Typically, that's something that happens in the schools, but that's not happening. So do you want to talk about what's happening with the Children's Deployment Support Program over the summer months and how we can sort of stay in touch with the kids?
Definitely. So here we are in a virtual world. Technical glitches and all, it definitely gets experienced across the board. But for those who don't know, CDSP is the Children's Deployment Support Program. It's a really unique peer support program that's delivered in our local community schools. It typically runs from October to May and provides school-aged children with support around the feelings they may be having due to a prolonged absence of a parent who's away on a deployment, a tasking, or a course or any work-related separation. It helps them cope with the challenges of deployment and those unique stressors that they may experience as military kids. They're pretty special that way. Unfortunately, though, due to the COVID closures, we haven't been able to get into school since before March break, but we still want to be there for the kids in the program virtually. So we are offering a monthly newsletter that parents can sign up for. It includes tips for parents, activities for kids, and lots of valuable resources to look at on your own. We're also taking our summer booster program virtually for July and August, and parents can register for both of these on the CAF Connection website. And as Petawawa moves into high readiness next year, we're looking at the changes to the program so that more families have access to it. And we can continue to support these kids as they're dealing with these challenging deployments.
Thank you. So if you want to sign up for that email, you're going to send for that email newsletter, you would send an email to Lindy and she can get you on that list. Is that how that works?
You can email Lindy or you can register on CAF Connection, and we'll be archiving the old issues of the newsletter there as well. So if you happen to miss one, check it out, and you can email Lindy anytime. She is the coordinator of the program. She looks after all our CDSP kids and parents. So be sure to reach out to her and check CAF Connection.
So Lindy, we're going to try again with you. I get to work with this fabulous group every single day, and I can tell you they've been working on their planning for next quarter, and these are people who love their job and they really get excited about the programs that they're planning. So I'm going to give them an opportunity to talk about some of the things that are happening and some of the things that they are excited about that you should really be keeping your eyes open for. Lindy, how we doing?
I talk really slow and hope it works.
That's a bit better. Okay, you're on.
So starting in July, we will be offering Program in a Box. So there will be kits that you will be able to pick up at the north side and then join a Zoom call or watch the video tutorial. So it's a great way to kind of connect with all of us that like the crafty aspect, but also to talk about what's going on in the world, maybe like reestablish those connections from being isolated. So the first one, I'll just grab it, is.
So that's the sign that's going to be for that first one in July?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's going to happen? Oh, so you're a little fuzzy. So what's going to happen is Lindy's going to get all the supplies together. She's going to have them in a bag that you can pick up at the north side, and then you can join her for a video and she will explain to you how to make them. Now, I am not a crafty person, and people who know me know that very well. Lindy is very, very good at breaking these things down. So even the non-crafty among us can follow along and have something at the end that looks acceptable that you could give to your mother for Christmas. It's up to you. That might be something that I have done in the past. And she's also good, and I'm sure she will also be good on Zoom, on making you feel really good on anything that you have made, like it's just as nice as the one that she has made. So it is a particular gift that she has. Do you want to talk about some of the, what do we have for August? Do you want to, or?
Yeah. August will be a succulent garden. So we will have plants available for everybody, but I have been trying to keep alive for months now. With a tutorial on how to make a concrete planter. And then it's kind of hard to see. We will be starting with adult grab bags, something that childcare has been doing for children. And we thought it would be fun to do for all of us grown-ups. So there will be grab bag kits available. So watch for Facebook posts on those. And you will have an opportunity with all the supplies to create a number of different things. There are Scrabble coasters, macrame. We have a really cool program coming up in September for the life skills goal setting, but in a really fun format virtually. So that's called Define Your New Normal, and I'm really excited about Holland.
Perfect. Thank you, Lindy. That's really cool. I'm sure a lot of people would be very excited about that. We will talk later about how you can find out more about those programs. Natasha, what's coming up for you that you're excited about?
Hey, so I'm excited about Saint Jean Baptiste. So last year we had our first Saint Jean Baptiste celebration that brought out over 200 Francophone families. So unfortunately we won't be able to do the same sort of celebration and poutine this year. So you have to go find your own poutine, but we will be sharing a variety of traditional Quebecois French recipes, pages, some crafts, and things like that. Some fun things leading up to the day that you can do with your family and with your children.
So it's suggested to throw your own Saint Jean Baptiste party at home.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. Thank you, Natasha. Holly.
Hi, I'm excited to be back. Program related. During our prenatal nutrition program, we'll be welcoming in some of our community partners to share their expertise with our participants, as well as I'll be doing some facilitation around pre and postnatal related subjects that will be fun and educational, and some hands-on activities as well. I just wanted to let everyone know too that just because you have a baby, if you're postnatally in the program, babies are always welcome. The more the merrier. So we love seeing the little heads pop onto screen, and the babies seem to really enjoy being on screen as well. And then with our 0 to 6 and 7 to 12-year-old program, I know firsthand how tricky it can sometimes be to keep our kids entertained and busy. So really keep an eye out for these activities. They're shared, the pictorials are shared weekly on our Facebook page, and then a video tutorial will be shared bi-weekly, and hopefully you'll take part in some of the activities.
Thanks, Holly. Kevin, I just saw a post last week about all the cool things that Health Promotions is doing this month. A lot of people may not be aware, but those Health Promotions programs are open to more than just military members. Do you want to talk a little bit about the programs that are coming up and who can access those?
Definitely. So many people have some extra time on their hands right now, so a great time to take a course. Our courses are available, well, first and foremost to military personnel, but also to their family members and defense team members. So a great time for any of you to take a course, to learn something and to better yourself. So I'll just talk a little bit about some of the courses we offer. So there's 4 main areas that we have, 4 core programs. So the first one is addictions awareness and prevention. So you can learn information about alcohol, other drugs, gambling and gaming, smoking cessation if people are looking to quit, might as well quit now. Secondly, injury prevention and active living. So just some things on being active while staying safe. Our third core program area is nutritional wellness. So there's some general healthy eating courses, and then we also have some sport nutrition courses for those that are maybe interested in learning what they should eat before, during, and after physical activity. And then probably our most, I don't want to say most important, it's my field, I don't want to be too biased, but most courses fall within our social wellness core program area. So we've got stress management, anger management, time management, effective communication, sleep hygiene. And these courses really are being utilized well. So it's awesome to see people tapping into them. So a couple different options. You can tap in live via our Facebook page. And I think the live option there's something extra special about the live option because you see the chat that goes on. If you don't have the opportunity to see it live, all our courses have been recorded and you can access them through our CAF Connection page. So every course that we've been offered, it's a webinar that's been offered right from the start is accessible. So maybe you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning with your sick child, great time to take a sleep hygiene course, okay? So a good option there. So those are our courses. If you have a chance to take one, fantastic.
So we are sharing links to the Health Promotions Facebook page in the comments, as well as some information about specific courses. Kevin, I've been watching in the news, and there's a lot of stories talking about how people are having trouble dealing with stress and how people may not necessarily recognize the stress that they have in their lives right now. Like, we're at home and people think, well, I may not be in my regular routine, so stress isn't there, but stress is one of those things that sort of follows you around anytime that change comes. So if there is a time that you really wanted to invest in your own wellness and your own mental well-being, reach out to Health Promotions, reach out to Kevin. Those courses are there. And I'm sure that his team would be more than happy to support you however they can to help you through this and help you sort of thrive through this time. Darby, people have been referencing some of the craft videos that we've already done, some of the language videos we've done, some of the tips in that. If you missed them, you haven't missed them. Can you tell us where people can find those?
It's true, Julie. You have an opportunity to see our great team on specifically YouTube, I'd like to mention. The team's on their way to becoming YouTube sensations. They have really used this platform in a great way to take our well-loved and well-attended in-person leisure and education programs virtually. We really miss our community members. This team is passionate about connecting with people and helping them better themselves. So this is something that they've really done well on. We have activities for our 0 to 6 kids, our 7 to 12 tweens. We've got adult activities too. The videos provide really easy to follow step-by-step instructions and include a list of easy to find supplies for some fun activities to do at home. And you guys get to see the friendly smiling faces of our program staff. So that's always a win.
And it really is stuff that you can find at home, because I remember when my kids were younger and seeing these videos and the list of things that I never would have had in my home. These are things that you actually are going to be able to find in your home pretty easily. So if you're looking for something to do with your kids this afternoon, we may not have a video going up for a while, but there's a whole group of things going up there. I know that Natasha recently made like a rain stick for kids. She's made some sidewalk chalk paint, and she's done some really cool videos to explain to your kids why hand washing is important. And Lindy's got some craft workshops up there too. So check out that YouTube channel. There's a lot there to see. But if there's other things that you want to see that you're not seeing, we want to hear from you. Claudia, feedback is always so important to us. I know with the program element, but also throughout the agency. Can you sort of talk a little bit about feedback and how we use it and how you can give it?
Sure. Well, we're all in unprecedented times right now, and our goal is to meet families where they're at. I think I've said that a few times now in these live chats, and we're constantly looking at better ways to stay connected with the families, and that could take a variety of forms. So we're very prominent, as is everybody else, on the social media sites. You know, Facebook is a great tool for us. As Darby said, you know, the YouTube platform has increased significantly. And on our CAF Connection site, we've added a link for feedback. So typically at the end of any program, you fill out the feedback form, but we've opened it up. So if you have something that you want to share with us, tell us. Go to the CAF Connection site. There is an opportunity to share what's there, and they come directly to me. So whatever feedback you have, good, bad, recommendations, suggestions, ideas, I want to hear them. And we'll take those recommendations and I will deliver it to the department that it's most applicable for. We augment our social media with our monthly newsletter, you know, and of course there's a calendar of events. The departments have virtual office hours, contact information. So there's a lot of ways that families can reach out to us. There's such a depth of experience on the PMFRC team overall. You know, this team has been so innovative, and I've said that before, and how they're adapting to the virtual way of doing things. And I want families to know that we heard you. We've heard from the feedback that we have already received. Some of that you'll see with the CDSP program that Darby spoke about. That was one that we got quite a bit of feedback on when we opened it up. So I think that's what we want to continue to do. We have an opportunity now to have better access to reach out to families, and Facebook posts, phone calls, word of mouth. There's so many ways that we will accept feedback from families. So let us know. We're here to support you, and families are key. They're instrumental in the operational plan that we prepare every year. It's a huge part of how we prioritize our programs and activities. So it's very important. Part of our mandate is to not duplicate what's out in the community. So that's where we can be very innovative, and that's where the teams work really hard on the partnerships with the base partners, with community partners, whoever else is out there that can help us better support our families. It's very critical. So we're already implementing some of the changes from the feedback that we have. So don't stop now. Let us hear what you have to say. We really do want to hear from you. And thank you for those that have already provided their feedback and input.
Lindy's adult grab bag program, I don't know if you missed it when she was talking earlier, the Children's Services Department was handing out craft bags for kids, and you could come and pick them up and make crafts, and someone put, what about adults? And we thought that's a great idea. So Lindy got to work and she got some ideas together. So those adult grab bags, those are a direct result of feedback that we've gotten from you on feedback. So keep it coming. We love to hear your ideas. Thank you all for joining us. Oh.
I would just say too that, you know, for some of the new families that are coming to Petawawa, if there's something that you've seen at another center that you really want us to try, then let us know. We're not opposed to doing that. And nationally, all MFRCs connect regularly to share best practices and to see what's working and what's not. So let us know.
So if you want to find out more about what the community engagement team is doing and what the health promotions team is doing, all of the links for everything that we've been talking about is in the comments section below. If you are not a regular follower of this page, we would encourage you to follow us. You can check us out on youtube.com/PMFRC. Our website is calfconnection.ca/Petawawa. Health Promotions also is on that website as well. So you can go to that one place and find our programs and the programs that Kevin was talking about as well. We also have that monthly newsletter, and I believe we are sharing in the comments the link. If you want to subscribe to that, it comes out only once a month and it gives you all the highlight of it. And we also have an app. So if you prefer to check things out on your phone, download the app, PMFRC app, all the events and services stuff are there. Next week, we are talking to the information services team, and they are going to be here to talk about clear-ins and clear-outs and how one can do that in an environment where you're not actually coming in and out. So we are going to talk to them. We also have some community partners talking about their services. So that's going to be an exciting one. So join us again next week at 11:30. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us. Kevin, community engagement team, Claudia, thank you again. We had no questions coming in as we were talking, but if people ask questions, are you watching it after and you have a question, add it in the comments. We will reach out to these kind folks and we will be sure to get back to you with answers to that. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Let's hope this rain turns around and we can all have some wonderful time in the sun this afternoon. Thank you for joining us, and join us again next week. Bye.